Hey there, this is Eric with GivingFuel, and I am so excited to show you our very own text messaging platform that is built right here inside of GivingFuel. And if you are not using text messaging as part of your broader fundraising strategy, man, you are missing out because text messaging has a 98% open rate and is such a powerful form of communication today. So we've built this platform for you from the ground up to take your donor engagement to the next level and to help you raise more money than ever. Now, certainly you could use other platforms for sending text messages out, but they're not aware of your donor database and they're not aware of your fundraising pages. And so this platform is fully integrated with the full suite of GivingFuel fundraising tools to make your SMS communication simple and seamless. So the process here, because of current regulations and rules, is the FCC requires every organization who sends text messages out to be a brand verified organization. So the first step in here is we're going to register ourselves with the carriers. There's a one-time setup fee for that. And then we are going to wait for an approval, and then we can send out mass text messages from our own dedicated number. So I'm going to walk through all of that for you here now. Okay, so I'm here ready to set up my own dedicated SMS account, and that goes through a two-step process of first, registering your brand with the carriers, and second, reserving your dedicated number. I'm going to walk through that here now. So I'm going to sign up here, and it's going to ask us for some basic information here, your legal business name, your industry, your EIN, your address. So make sure you have all those things handy. And so this is going to be the basics for what we submit to the carriers to authenticate your brand. So I'm going to fill out this information now. All right, so I've got my basic information filled out here, and now we're going to hit continue. Now it's going to ask for personal information about the person who's authorizing this account. All right, so I have my personal information in here, and then we're going to hit review information. And this is where you want to make sure you review all of the information, make sure it's correct, and this is going to get sent over to the carriers. They're going to review it, they're going to authenticate you, and then you'll be approved as a brand with the carriers. So I'm going to check yes for this. We're going to scroll down and hit submit. All right, so my application is in review. It's been submitted to the carriers, and now we wait for them to provide an approval back, in which will allow us to then reserve a dedicated number, and then we can send out our mass text message campaign. Now this says up to 2 weeks, which is what the carriers ask us to provide to use information, but we see approvals sometimes same day, 2-3 days, maybe 4. So somewhere in that time range here. Check back in this window and you'll have a response here for your text messaging application, for which you then can continue the rest of the process. So I'll be right back as soon as I have that approval. Okay, and we are back. You can see that my brand has been approved by the carriers, and that whole approval took probably about 8 hours. So it happened overnight. Now the carriers require us to advertise. It can take up to 1 to 2 weeks, but as we see here, it just took a handful of hours. So that's great. So now my brand is verified and authenticated. I can send messages out from a dedicated number. And so the next step is to choose that dedicated number. And the carriers require the numbers to be long form. So you can see here that you can browse numbers here. You can choose by area code. You can do all sorts of searches in terms of patterns that the number might have present in the number. So you can use these search tools to find a kind of vanity number, something that's easy to remember or easy to see or has patterns you like. So I'm going to spend a minute here and pick a number that I like from a local area code. All right, after a little bit of searching, I like the 916 with the 299 beginning here. And so when you search for the area code, you can find different patterns and numbers. So you can see 299, 8351. So a variety of different ones here, but I liked this 2993243, and this is going to be my dedicated number. So I'm going to choose that, let it reserve it. Okay, there we go. We now have a dedicated number associated with our brand that's now linked to my GivingFuel account. And now through GivingFuel, I can send out mass text message blasts to all my subscribers and past donors. So pretty awesome. Let me show you how you can craft a message here, and we're going to create a text message blast. So we're going to create a new message here. Then it's going to ask for a reference name. We're going to target who we're going to send it to, and then we're going to write a message here. And over here we see a little preview. It shows us our little number, and the carriers require us to add your organization name up front and also add this kind of annoying text stop to end, standard text messages apply. So that's going to be accompanied with your text message, and that is a carrier requirement. So let's give this a reference name. Then we're going to target past donors of this giving page, and then we're going to craft our message. Okay, so we have our message there. We also can choose to send a text message, and so you can put in your phone number here and you can test to see what it's going to look like. And then you can choose when to send it. You can choose a future date, so maybe you want to send it next week. You can also choose a time, or you can choose to send it immediately. So one thing on the message length here is that the carriers will charge per message segment. We allow you to send up to 300 characters in one blast that goes out, but the carriers, when it's more than 160, will assume it's 2, and they combine it together, and so your recipients will receive it as usual. But as far as how the carriers bill for text messaging, they bill it in these message segments, which are 160. But we give you 300, and that will all go as one message. So when you're ready, you then can hit send message. And now it's in the queue, and that message is going to get sent out here. And if I had this scheduled in the future, I could modify it, I could edit it, I could duplicate it. And so you have some great tools here for that. But the text message is now queued and is about ready to get received. All right, so my text message has been sent and my phone just dinged, and let's see what it is. And there it is. It is my text message blast right there in my phone, which is pretty awesome. So you can see the stats there, which is pretty awesome. And so that is how broadcasting out via text messaging works. Now there's a couple other cool features you can use with your own dedicated number inside GivingFuel, and that is under keywords here. If we go to keywords, keywords allows us to create various autoresponders for when people send in a certain word that the system will reply back a pre-written message. The most common and useful keyword would be something like give or donate, and it'll send back the link to your donation page. You also can do things like podcast to return back the quick link for your podcast. You can do ones for location. If you have a physical location, you can reply back the link for Google Maps. Anything you can think of, you can do it with keywords. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's create a keyword for donate, and then we'll add a message, and then we're going to add a hint, which is going to describe what that keyword does. If someone uses the keyword help, it's going to give back a whole list of open keywords. So let's fill this out now. All right, so there we have our keyword for donate. It's going to come from that number, and there is our response, and we'll hit save. And so now that keyword is saved, and so it's going to act as an autoresponder. So let's pull back over my phone here and let's test it out. So from my phone, I'm going to send in the word donate, send that in, and there we go. And here is my donation link, and there we are. So that is how that works. Pretty cool, huh? So that is pretty much it for this demo. I know I've covered a whole lot, but text messaging is incredibly powerful for your nonprofit to help you raise more money. And hopefully this demo has been useful for you to see how to set up your own dedicated number to engage your donors and how to raise even more money. Let us know if you have any other questions. We got lots planned here for text messaging in this platform. So if you have questions or want to see other things in use, please let us know. We'll be happy to show you. And thanks for being part of this demo, and we'll catch you on the next one.